Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Chapter 5. Glory of Nityanand Bhagavat. Text number 7. Sankarsanaha Karanato Yashai Garbho Dashai Cha Ayogishai Sheshaha Cha Yasya Amshakamaha Saha Nityananda Akhya Ramaha Sharanam Mama Astu Sankarshana Karanato Yashai Sankarshana Karanato Yashai Garbho Dashai Chapayom Vishai Garbho Dashai Chapayom Vishai Sheshastayasyam Shakalat Sanitya Sheshastayasyam Shakalat Sanitya Nandakya Rama Sharanam Mamastu Nandakya Rama Sharanam Mamastu Sankarshana Karanato Yashai Garbho Dashai Chapayom Vishai Sheshastayasyam Shakalat Sanitya Nandakya Rama Sharanam Mamastu
Sankarshana Karanato Yashai
Sankarshana Karanato Yashai
Garbho Dashai Chapayo
Dashai Chapayo Vishai Sheshastayasyam Shakala Sanitya Sankarshanaha. Mahasankarshana in the spiritual sky. Karanatoya Shai. Karandakashai Vishnu, who lies in the causal ocean. Garbhodakashai. Garbhodakashai Vishnu, who lies in the Garbhodaka ocean of the universe. Cha and Payah Abdhishai. Kshirdakashai Vishnu, who lies in the ocean of milk. Sheshaha. Sheshanaga, the couch of Vishnu. Cha and Yasya, whose Amsha, plenary portions. Kalaha, and parts of the plenary portions. Saha, he. Nityananda Akhya, known as Lord Nityananda. Ramaha, Lord Balaram. Sharanam, shelter. Mama, my. Astu, let there be. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. May Shri Nityananda Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshana, Sheshanaga, and the Vishnus who lie in the Karana ocean, Garbha ocean, and the ocean of milk are his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portions. Purport. Sri Swarupa Damodar Goswami has recorded this verse in his diary to offer his respectful obeisances to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. This verse also appears in the seventh of the first 14 verses of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatyadesatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Ajanulambita pucho kanakavadato Sankirtanai kapitaro kamalaya taksa Vishvambaro dvijavaro yugadharma palo Vande jagat priyakaro karunavataro Yantah pravishya mama vachimamam prasuptam Sanjivayata kila shakti daraksvadham Nanyam shahasta charana Shravanatva gadim Pranannamo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Svasyastu Visvasya Kalak Prasidatam Payandutani Shivam Mithodaya Manasraje Aveshyatam No Matir Apyahaitu Kim. So I will read a few more verses from the same chapter of Chaitanya Charitamrita.
Hare Krishna, we are very happy to welcome Bhakti Vijnana Goswami Mahraj. most of the devotees must be knowing Maharaj, just for our purification. Maharaj has been serving in Russia, Ukraine also. Ukraine also.
Yes, Ukraine also.
So in very tough place actually. So what stories we have heard, not the sorted way, but many more examples. They are initially they were like so inspiring. You would feel like you hear the story of Shaolin monks and others. In our teenage days, we used to hear stories of Kaki heroes, warriors. So it's that kind of love they have exhibited actually towards Srila Prabhupada and towards the country of India. It's a great way they have taken risks. They have, and more than the risks, they have stood as very good examples of devotion service, inspiring and giving faith. And Maharaj himself is also very learned. His classes are deeply respected by many senior devotees. They are always heard from our spiritual masters. So thank you, Maharaj, for being here. It's our great good fortune because of Mahaprabhupada. And we are very sorry, Maharaj, for the inconvenience of the stay. Welcome.
Thank you.
Let us welcome Maharaj and chanting Gaudiya Vaishnavism.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Chant few more verses from the same chapter of Sri Chaitanya, from the verse 201. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Kripamoy Yanha Hoite Paina Rupa Sanata Shroy. All glory to the merciful Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy I have attained shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Rupa and Sanatana. Yanha Hoite Paino Raghunatha Mahashai Yanha Hoite Paino Shri Swarupa Shrai. By his mercy I have attained the shelter of the great personality Sri Raghunatha Dasa Goswami, and by his mercy I have found the refuge in Sri Swarupa Damodar. Sanatana Kripa Paino Bhaktira Siddhanta Shirupa Kripaya Paino Bhaktira Sapranda. By the mercy of Sanatana Goswami I have learned the final conclusions of devotional service, and by the grace of Sri Rupa Goswami I have tasted the highest nectar of devotional service. And then the verse 204. Jaya Jaya Nityananda Charana Ravinda Yanha Hoite Paino Sri Radha Govinda. All glory to the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda, by whose mercy I have attained Sri Radha Govinda. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Narottam Das Thakur, who is famous for his poetic composition known as Prarthana, has lamented in one of his prayers, When will Lord Nityananda be merciful upon me, so that I will forget all material desires? Srila Narottam Das Thakur confirms that unless one is freed from material desires to satisfy the needs of the body and senses, one cannot understand the transcendental abode of Lord Krishna, Vrindavan. He also confirms that one cannot understand the loving affairs of Radha and Krishna without going through the direct direction of the 6 Goswamis. In another verse, Narottama Das Thakur has stated that without the causeless mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, one cannot enter into the affairs of Radha and Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So it's my great fortune to be with all of you on this day of Nityananda Trayodashi, which is a very important day for all of us. As Srila Prabhupada explains in these purports and in many other places, we can only understand and get the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by going through the route of Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda is the doorway. He is the doorkeeper. He is the someone who gives us the access to the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya came to give mercy to everyone, but then he kind of had the second thought and he said, let him be the guardian. Let this madman be the guardian of my mercy. He wanted to distribute the mercy to everyone, but he needed Lord Nityananda to accomplish this task, to ultimately give his mercy to everyone. So we'll talk about this during this lecture on Nityananda Trayodashi Day. Everyone understands English? Take it. Okay, fine. So Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, in the beginning of Chaitanya Charitamrita, he made 14 verses of Mangala Charana to Chaitanya Charitamrita to make us understand the Siddhanta behind the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya, as we know, appeared in 1486 in Navadvip, in the house of Jagannath Mishra, in the house of a Brahmana, quite famous in Navadvip, poor Brahmana in Navadvip. And from the external point of view, he's just an ordinary living entity. But for gradually, among his followers, he revealed his identity as the Supreme Lord. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, while writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, wants to underscore first and foremost his identity so that we could understand the inner purport of his leelas, to understand the meaning of his actions and his words, and to understand the gravity of his message, we first have to understand his nature or his tattva. Before understanding the tattva, we will never be able to understand the lila. This is a very important principle. Sometimes people, they like to hear lilas. And of course, it's always nice to hear lilas because it's fun and you don't have to be too serious about it. But to understand the lila, you have to understand tattva first. Then only the meaning of the lila will be clear. Otherwise, it will be just stories, and there are so many stories, especially in India. In India, Amar Chitrakatha. So many stories are there. Endless ocean of stories. Katha Charit Sagar. So this famous story, it's just story after story after story, and of course you can engage your mind in listening stories endlessly, but the result will be very meager unless you understand the inner meaning behind the stories, and you can only understand the inner meaning if you understand the nature of the heroes of the stories, in our case of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu. And therefore, very painstakingly, in the beginning, in the Adi Leela, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, after quoting these verses from Swarup Damodar Kadacha, who was the first one who revealed the inner nature or inner tattva of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates, he explains in a great detail who is who. And of course, we have to accept it on the face value. Otherwise, we will not have access to the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Chaitanya Charitamrita. We will only be on the surface of these pastimes. At best, we will think, like so many other people think, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a great saint. He's not a great saint. He's God. He's Krishna himself. He revealed it to some of his followers. And if we know this, we can understand. We can chant Hare Krishna mantra. And we will get result of chanting Hare Krishna mantra, which is Krishna Prem. But if we don't know this, yeah, we will chant Hare Krishna mantra, but we will not get the result. He is God himself who has come to give us this holy name, which is non-different from him, and to reveal his innermost feelings of love, because he invested these feelings in the sounds of Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. But he didn't come alone. He came with all his entourage from the spiritual world, and his first and foremost helper in this pastimes of spreading love of God was Nityananda Prabhu, whose appearance day we're celebrating today. And it is said that among Pancha Tattva there is one Mahaprabhu, and there are two Prabhus, Advaita Prabhu and Nityananda Prabhu, and one Mahaprabhu. And Advaita Prabhu and Nityananda Prabhu both are much older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Advaita Prabhu is 53 or 52 years older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Nityananda Prabhu is 12 years older than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but they all worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They all showed to the world that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Lord. He is God himself, he is Krishna himself. And we are Prabhus, yes. They are also on the level of Vishnu Tattva. They also came to help him, but at the same time they are serving him, and that's their eternal position. And it is revealed by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami when he says that only Krishna is the Lord, everyone is his servant. So in this verse which we read in the beginning, it is said that Nityananda Prabhu, he is Vaibhav Prakash of Lord Krishna himself. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained to Sanatana Goswami this very technical science of incarnations. He says that Krishna himself is Swayam Prakash. He manifests his innermost nature, but he also can expand himself in many, many different ways. He is the origin of all incarnations and all expansions, and even small tiny jivas are ultimately expansions of Lord Krishna. He is avatari, he is the source of all avatars, and therefore he is called Swayam Prakash. He is Swayam Roop. He is manifesting himself, and only he can manifest himself. But then when the need is there, he manifests so many different prakashas, different manifestations of himself, and they're called Prabhav Prakash. That 100% identical with the Lord himself when Lord Krishna was dancing Rasalila dance. He manifested himself in many, many prakashas, in many, many different expansions, and all these expansions were totally identical with Lord Krishna, so much so that gopis couldn't recognize that there are many Krishnas. They only saw the Krishna who is next to her. But Krishna himself, as Swayam Prakash, was with Shrimati Radharani. With other gopis was Prabhav Prakash of Krishna. And this is Prabhav Prakash, which is totally identical with the original Swayam Prakash. But still there is slight difference, totally unnoticeable to anyone, but Krishna himself knows, I am Krishna and this is my Prakash. It's very difficult to understand. But then when his mood slightly changes, the Prakash or manifestation of Krishna, Prakash means manifestation, is called Vaibhav Prakash. Bhav means bhav, mood, and Vaibhav is a special mood. So the first manifestation of Krishna in the form of Vaibhav Prakash with a special mood, different from the mood of Lord Krishna himself, is Lord Balaram. And there the difference is visible to everyone because Krishna is Shyam, he is black, he is blackish, and Balaram is white. Krishna is born in Ashtami day, and Balaram is born in Purnima day, and therefore he is so white, like milk, like the full moon. And the same Balaram, Vaibhav Prakash, the first Vaibhav Prakash of Lord Krishna, came to help Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his pastimes as Nityananda Prabhu. And this is exactly what Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami is explaining here. He's explaining that in every pastime, what is the difference between Krishna and Balaram? The mood is different. The mood of Krishna, I'm the enjoyer. I'm Sevya Bhagavan. I'm the Bhagavan. I'm God who is accepting service. That's why he is black. Black means, according to physical science, black absorbs everything. So that's why Krishna is black. He absorbs everything. Everyone else, Shrimati Radharani, she's golden. She's giving him love, and he's accepting love. That's his mood. I am Sevya Bhagavan, I am accepting mood, I am accepting love. And here in this material world, we're trying to imitate Krishna, and we also want to accept love. But it's a mistake, because we're not supposed to accept love, we're supposed to give love. We are expansions of Krishna, and even Balaram, the very first expansion of Krishna, very first manifestation of Krishna, he manifests completely different mood, which is that of Sevaka Bhagavan. He's Bhagavan himself, but in the mood of Sevaka. He's the servant, he is giving love, and therefore he is white. Krishna is black, he is white. Krishna is taking, and Balaram is giving. So that's the difference. Of course, when Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is also given. Therefore, he is golden. He is also emanating this effulgence of love. But in the mood of Lord Nityananda, he manifests this same unreserved mood of service. Like Balaram Prabhu, he is serving Krishna in every capacity. In Shantaras, he is serving as his paraphernalia and as a holy dam. In Dasyaras, he is serving the Lord as his personal servant sometimes. Or like Lakshman, he is serving the Lord as personal servant. by arranging everything for his facilities. And then in Sakyaras, he's dancing with Krishna and playing flute sometimes, like in Nandagram. There is this Murti and Krishna and Balaram, they all black and they all playing flutes and dancing. And then in Vatsalya Ras, he's protecting Lord Krishna, and in Madhurya Ras, he's making his special expansion not to make Rasabas, and as an Angamanjari, he's serving the Lord. In the same way, when Lord Chaitanya is coming, when the Supreme Lord Krishna is coming to this world to distribute love, Lord Nityananda is coming to him together with him to help him to distribute this love. And as I said, Lord Chaitanya gave this special privilege to Lord Nityananda. He said, you will become the holy guardian of my love, and only through you people will get access to Krishna Prem. And that's exactly what Srila Prabhupada explains in this purport. You can only know Radha Govinda if you get the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And Lord Nityananda is, of course, Akhanda Guru Tattva, the original Guru Tattva. And as original Guru Tattva, he is the guardian. And we first have to surrender to Lord Nityananda. And by surrendering to Lord Nityananda, to our spiritual master, through the surrender to spiritual master, we will get the mercy of Lord Nityananda. And by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, as Srila Prabhupada explains, quoting Narottam Das Thakur, our material desires will become tuchha, will become insignificant. We will experience this Nityananda, the eternal Ananda, which Lord Nityananda himself experiences by surrendering to his representative spiritual master. And then our desires will become insignificant, and our desires will not disturb us. And while chanting the holy name in undisturbed mood, with undisturbed mind, very concentratedly, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, we will get Krishna Prem. Because now we're chanting and our mind is somewhere else, because our mind wants to enjoy. Our mind is telling us, what are you doing here? You're wasting your time. Go enjoy somewhere. Why you're here? But by the mercy of Lord Nityananda, the peacefulness can come to our mind. And Krishna himself says, Ashantasi kutak sukham. Where is the question of happiness without peace? So Lord Nityananda first gives you peace, and after giving you peace, he gives you ananda, bliss. First peace, then bliss, and then Krishna Prem. So this is how it goes. And this is why Lord Nityananda came together with Lord Chaitanya to help him. And we will speak a little bit about his pastimes, because his pastimes are unlimited. It would be very difficult to explain all his pastimes. But as I said, he was born 12 years before Lord Chaitanya in Radhadesh, in the place where Ganga is not flowing. You're living next to Sangam. You're very happy. You're living in the most holy place, Prayagraj and Tirtharaj, the place of all the holy Tirthas where they reside. But Lord Nityananda, trying to explain his mission from the moment of his birth, he was born in Radhadesh, where Ganga does not flow, and therefore people are naturally not so pious. The further away people live from Ganga, the less pious they are. That's the rule of this world. And of course, the most impious people live in Russia, Europe, and America, because they're too far away from Ganga. But Lord Nityananda is taking birth in Radhadesh, in the place where Ganga does not flow, because he's coming to this world to give mercy of Lord Chaitanya to those who are not pious, or those who have no privilege of being pious by the dint of being close to Ganga or any holy river, on the holy atmosphere which this holy river makes. So he was born, and his name by birth was Kuvera. His father's name was Hadai Oja. He was from Oja caste, Jati. Ojas, they are actually astrologers and Ayurvedic doctors. So his father by profession was following this Vaidya caste, and his mother was Padmavati Devi, and they were living peacefully in Ekachakra Gram, and everything was peaceful in Ekachakra Gram until the moment when Nityananda Prabhu took birth in Ekachakra Gram, and everything immediately became blissful. Before it was peaceful, and then when he took birth, everything became blissful. Actually, that's a fact. This is what Vrindavan Das Thakur describes in Chaitanya Bhagavat. When Lord Nityananda took birth on this day, this very day of Trayodashi, everyone felt causeless bliss, immense happiness in this Ekachakra Gram. And when Lord Nityananda was growing and growing and growing, the bliss of all the inhabitants of Ekachakra Gram was also growing and growing and growing. And the amazing feature of Lord Nityananda was that he was always playing different pastimes, and all these pastimes were the pastimes of the Lord. And nobody could understand, how does he know all the pastimes? He knew perfectly well how to play all these pastimes of all different incarnations of the Lord. Sometimes he with his friends would play Vamana Lila. And somebody would be Bali Maharaj, and somebody, and Nityananda Prabhu was playing the role of Vamana, and he would come to this Bali Maharaj, and this chubby boy would sit there, and this Vamana Dev would say, please give me just three steps of land, and Bali Maharaj would say, yes, take these 3 steps of land, you're fool, you don't want to take more. And then Nityananda Prabhu would make 2 steps, and then 3rd step on the head of this boy. And this way they were playing, and sometimes once the father of Nityananda Prabhu asked, how do you know all these pastimes of all different incarnations? And Lord Nityananda say, I don't know, it's my pastimes. This is what it is, this is my pastimes. So he was playing, and everyone was so happy, and his friends were so happy. And of course, once there was this Leela when they were playing Ram Leela, and Nityananda Prabhu was playing the role of Lakshman. And at one point when there was fighting going on, when this Yuddha was going on with Ravana, one boy came to, who was playing the role of Meghanand, the son of Ravana, with lotus, and hit Nityananda Prabhu by this lotus. And Nityananda Prabhu fell on the ground, and he was totally unconscious. And he was laying there, and the boys came together, and they saw that he's not breathing. He's just laying there. And they started crying. They forgot about this Leela and about the place, and they started crying, and they're saying, come back, come back, come back. And Nityananda Prabhu was laying there. And because they were crying so loudly, the parents of Nityananda Prabhu also came, and they saw he's lying, and they started crying. And because they started crying, the whole village has come. And the whole village started crying. And then ultimately one very wise old man. He asked, what did you play before? What happened? What did you play? And they said, we were playing Ram Leela, and there was this battle, and he was playing Lakshman. And he said, this old man said, who was playing Hanuman? And they showed, and they said, this boy was playing Hanuman. He said, go quickly to Himalayas and bring the Sanjeevani. So, and this boy, he ran somewhere to some nearby hill and brought some rocks from this hill and some herb, and ultimately Nityananda was revived. So this is how perfectly he played the Leela. When he would enter into this mood, he was not Nityananda, not little Kudera boy from Ekachakra village. He was this, because it was his pastimes. And when he became 12-year-old, he was growing and growing and growing. When he became 12-year-old, on Purnima Day, which is coming soon, on Gaur Purnima Day, when Lord Chaitanya took birth in Navadvip, all of a sudden, all the inhabitants of Ekachakra Gram heard some tumultuous sound, and they didn't know who is making this sound. They heard this like it was a thunderbolt. There was thunderbolt. Gora! And nobody knew what's going on, who is making this sound. They couldn't recognize this sound. This is Nityananda Prabhu was celebrating Gaur Purnima. Gora! Gora! So he became ecstatic, and he was chanting the name of Lord Gauranga, who took birth. And at this moment, he realized that it's time for him to start preparing for his mission in life, to help Lord Chaitanya in his distribution. And therefore he arranged that at one point a very effulgent sannyasi came to Ekachakra Gram, and Hadayoja, Haday Pandit received him very nicely, and they were talking the whole night about Krishna. And at the end of the night, Haday Pandit became so pleased with this sannyasi, and he said, please ask me something. Whatever you will ask me, I will give to you. And then this elderly gentleman, sannyasi, said, yes, I'm going to do Tirtha Yatra. I'm going to visit all the holy places. And I need an assistant, and you have a nice boy in your house. Please give me your son. I don't ask anything else. And Haday Pandit, Nityananda Prabhu, of course, was his only son. And he was so much in love with Nityananda Prabhu, he couldn't leave him for a moment. Whenever he would go to work, he would take little Nityananda with him on the field. Or when he was going to the market, little Nityananda was with him. Everywhere he was following him. And sometimes when Nityananda Prabhu would go little away, he would become frantic and he was looking for him. He was so much in love with him. And here you are, this sannyasi is coming and he's saying, please give me your boy. And he said, for a few days I will go through all the holy places, and then I will come back and bring back this boy. And of course, Haday Pandit knows it will never happen. So he became very grave. He actually wanted to faint, but he somehow rather composed himself, and he said, I need to consult with my wife. He went to Padmavati Devi, the mother of Lord Nityananda, and he said, you know what, this sannyasi came and he asked for our son. And I promised to him that I will fulfill his wish. I will fulfill his desire. And Padmavati looked at him and she said, you please do whatever you feel necessary, and whatever you will do, I will accept it. You are my Lord and you are my Master, and whatever you will do, I will accept it. And in this moment, he started remembering Lord Ram's pastime when Vishwamitra Muni came to the house of Dasharatha Maharaj, and how Dasharatha Maharaj was reluctant to give Ram and Lakshman, how he didn't want, and how Vishwamitra Muni became angry at him, and how ultimately Lord Ram went to Mithila, and how he came back with Sita. And he became little pacified by remembering this pastime. He thought, Dasharatha Maharaj gave his son. Why can't I give my son? And he came back to the sannyasi and he said, okay, take my son with you. And very quickly, this sannyasi took Nityananda Prabhu by hand and started walking very, very quickly. And at this moment of time, Hadayoja, he realized what's happening. He saw that this boy is leaving, and he fainted right there. But the mother of Nityananda Prabhu, she was following them and crying very loudly behind them. And this sannyasi stopped, hearing this pitiful cry of Padmavati Devi. And he took his bag, and he took out of his bag beautiful murti of Lord Krishna. And he gave this murti of Lord Krishna to Padmavati Devi, and he said, here's Murlidhar. You look at his face. Whenever you will look at his face, you will see Nityananda in this murti. And she took this murti and she looked at the face of Murlidhar, and she saw, oh, this is my boy. This is my son. And she embraced this murti and went back. And all the inhabitants of Ekachakra Gram, when they heard about this, they were trying to return this sannyasi. They were crying, and they were running behind him, and they were saying, you know, this Nityananda, he doesn't know anything. He doesn't know how to cook. Why do you need this useless assistant? Take my son. Take all my sons. They will do better. Help. But they couldn't find this sannyasi anywhere. He disappeared very quickly. And when Nityananda left, actually the whole Ekachakra Gram became desolated. It was destroyed. It is said that for 3 months, Hadayoja, Haday Pandit, father of Lord Nityananda, he didn't eat anything. And sometimes he was totally delirious, sometimes he was crying, sometimes he would become very enthusiastic and he would say, Padmavati, Padmavati, our son is coming, she is coming, he is coming, he is here. And he would run somewhere outside of the village and faint. So he didn't do it, and ultimately he died. He died in separation with Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu, we all know, he went on pilgrimage. And during his pilgrimage, he took initiation from what's his name? Lakshmipati Tirtha. From Lakshmipati Tirtha, the spiritual master of Madhavendra Puri, and in his pilgrimage he met with Madhavendra Puri. And ultimately he came to Vrindavan. He went through the whole India within these 12 years little less. And he was traveling for 8 years all over India. And ultimately he came to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, he was sitting on the bank of Yamuna. And he was totally in the mood of Lord Balaram. He was playing in the sand of Yamuna, making some castles from the sand or whatever. And sometimes he was in this playful mood and he was throwing the sand to other people, or sometimes he would splash the water for them. And at one point he started crying, Kanai, 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 where are you? Kanai, Kanai, I'm here. Come back here. And at this moment of time, he heard the voice from the sky. Why are you calling Kanai? Kanai took birth in Navadvip. You go back to Navadvip. And very quickly he went back to Navadvip. And very briefly I will tell a few pastimes. And let's see where this talk will bring us. So we all know that Lord Chaitanya already started Sankirtana movement in Navadvip. And then one day, in the morning, he called all his associates. And he said, I saw in the last portion of this night very strange dream. I saw that the big chariot has come to Navadvip. And in this big chariot, there was a big man. And he was dressed in blue dhoti. And he had very broad chest and shoulders. And he had a plow on his shoulder. And he was going through this chariot through Navadvip, and he is asking, where is Nimai Pandit? Where is Nimai Pandit? And I saw this chariot is going through our streets, and ultimately it came to the door of my house. And I came out from my house, and I asked him, and I told him, I am Nimai Pandit. You're looking for Nimai Pandit. I'm Nimai Pandit. Who are you? And this big man looked at me and said, I am your brother. And the dream finished. And Nimai Pandit told this dream to all his associates and said, what do you think, what this dream is all about? Can you please give me the meaning of this dream? It's a very strange and very vivid dream. And everyone started saying this or that or that. And then Nimai Pandit said, no. I think one very great personality has come to Navadvip today. Please go and search for him. And he sent all his associates to search for some Mahatma who has come to Navadvip today, and they started searching, and they couldn't find anyone. And they came back. Srivas Pandit, it was in the house of Srivas Pandit. Srivas Pandit came back, and everyone else came back, and they reported to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it seems like your dream is wrong. Nobody has come to Navadvip, nobody is here. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked at them and said, follow me. And he went straight to the house of Nandanacharya, and in the courtyard of the house of Nandanacharya, they saw effulgent personality sitting there and in complete meditation. And this effulgent personality in meditation in complete samadhi was sitting there and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And everyone was amazed to see Lord Nityananda there for the first time. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started approaching him. And at the moment when the aroma of the body of Lord Chaitanya touched the nose of Lord Nityananda opened his eyes wide open, and he jumped very high in the air, and he cried, "Gaura, Gaura, 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 Gaura." So, and then he started dancing and crashing on the ground, and everyone seeing his ecstatic dance was very afraid that he will kill himself. And ultimately he became unconscious. No, then Shivas Pandit started chanting the verse from Shrimad Bhagavatam. Barhatidam natavarabapu karnayo karnikaram vibratvasah kanaka kapisham vaijayantim chamalam vibrat randram vinora darasudayan purayan gopa vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishat Gita Kirti. He started chanting this verse from Shrimad Bhagavatam, and Nityananda Prabhu, he lost his consciousness. He fainted. And everyone was trying to revive him, and ultimately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down and put Nityananda Prabhu's body on his lap and started patting him on the head. And Gadadhar Pandit looked at this scene when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is sitting and Nityananda Prabhu is laying on his lap, and Gadadhar Pandit started laughing. He said, usually my Lord Krishna is laying on the bed of Ananta Shesh, and here finally Ananta Shesh is laying on the lap of my Lord. This is total Viparit Lila. They exchanged the roles. So this is what happened on this day. And the next day was Guru Purnim, which is very significant. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, everyone has to come to the house of Shivas Pandit and we will celebrate Guru Puja, Guru Purnim. Guru Purnim is a very important day for all the Vaishnavas. We should celebrate the birthday of Vyasadeva. And they came all in the house of Shivas Pandit, and they made the arrangement, and there was a picture of Vyasadeva. And then Shivas Pandit, he gave the garland to Lord Nityananda. And he said to Lord Nityananda, please put this garland on the picture of Vyasadeva in this day, because you are very saintly person, please do this. And Lord Nityananda took the garland. And he started looking around. Looking and looking and looking, and everyone was looking at him, what he's doing. And then ultimately he said, he took this garland and put it on the neck of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And said, he is real Vyasadeva. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, on the contrary, he said, no, you are a representative of Vyasadeva. And he started washing his lotus feet and doing Abhishek. And in this way, they were expressing their mutual love. Whenever we see Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya, they're always together. And the very strong bond of love was there between them. And this is how they teach what love means. Love means attachment. Love means very strong attachment when we really respect somebody and we want to do everything possible for him or whatever necessary for his service. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always expressing his deep respect and appreciation to Nityananda Prabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu was always expressing his deep respect and appreciation to Nityananda, to Lord Chaitanya. And of course, Nityananda Prabhu, he was very unconventional person, and he was doing many strange things. He was very strong. He was physical strong because he is Balaram. He has this bal, the physical strength, and sometimes he would see the bull, and the big bull would be running, and Lord Nityananda would become very ecstatic, and he would start chasing this bull, and the bull would become running away from Lord Nityananda, and ultimately Lord Nityananda would jump on this bull and would ride on this bull through the whole Navadvip. Can you imagine this? Somebody is riding on the big bull and the bull is running. Or sometimes he would jump into Ganga and he would go to crocodiles. And he would play with crocodiles. He would come to crocodiles and open their mouths and look in the mouths. Because he was so playful and nobody could understand what's going on. Or sometimes he would run to some Muslim girl and he would ask her, "Would you marry me? Would you marry me?" He's a sannyasi. He already took sannyas by that time. His name was Swarup. He remained brahmachari names, Nityananda Swarup. Anyway, so he was behaving very strangely. Sometimes he would go naked. Once he came to Lord Chaitanya's house and he started knocking at the door of Nimai Pandit, and Sachimata opened the door and she saw a big figure completely naked like these people in Kumbh Mela. He was standing there, and Sachimata became very embarrassed. And Lord Chaitanya came out, and he had a turban on his head, and he took off the turban and put it around the waist of Nityananda. And then he thought, oh, maybe some people will not understand this. And at one point, all his associates and followers of Lord Chaitanya came to his house, and Lord Nityananda was there. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he asked Nityananda, "Do you have kopin?" Because he was a sannyasi, and sannyasi is supposed to wear kopin. And somehow or other, Lord Nityananda gave him the kopin, and Lord Chaitanya started shredding this kopin onto little pieces of cloth, and he started giving the pieces of cloth to every one of his associates and said, put it in your kavacha. This is something which will completely protect you from all lust. If you have lust, if you have material desires, please keep these pieces of this precious clothes of Lord Nityananda, and this is the only protection from the Maya, from material illusion, which is so strong and so impetuous, and so easily we can become the victims of this Maya. So this is how they lived in Navadvip, and Lord Nityananda was always there. He was living in the house of Shivas Pandit. And once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to house of Shivas Pandit, and he saw how Shivas Pandit and especially his wife Malini Devi, who were quite old by that time, they were taking care of Lord Nityananda as if he was their son. And Lord Chaitanya he wanted to test Shivas Pandit. And he started saying, this Nityananda, nobody knows which caste he is from, and he's always doing some strange things, and he's always offering himself to become a husband of Muslim girls. and he's always mingling with some drunkard people. And why you're so attached to him and you're serving him so nicely? Why don't you distance yourself from this Nityananda, because he is very questionable character. He is not really satsanga. So Srivas Pandit smiled and he said, "My Lord, don't test me so severely. Even if Lord Nityananda will come with a bottle of wine and will go to a drinking place and will start drinking, he will still remain." And after that, now he's only proposing the marriage to Muslim girl. Even if he marries 5 Muslim girls, he will remain my worshipable Lord. Because he is Nityananda. He has love of God. It doesn't matter for me what he is doing. I know what is there in his heart, and I love him, and I know that you love Lord Nityananda. And when Lord Chaitanya heard this expression of love from Srivas Pandit, he became so pleased, and he said, "Srivas Pandit, ask me whatever benediction you like, I will give this immediately on the spot, because you like Lord Nityananda." So that's the teaching, that's the lesson which we have to understand very clearly. We have to love first Lord Nityananda with all his strange things, because he's doing this only because he's completely driven by love. Anyway, so let me, of course, the main pastime which took place at that time was Jagai and Madai pastime, when one day Lord Chaitanya said, "Please, Haridas and Nityananda, go and preach the glory of the holy name to all these atheists." And Haridas said, "I will not go with this madman. He will get me in trouble for sure." But Lord Chaitanya said, "No, this is my order, this is my agya. Go and preach everywhere." And we know what happened. This Pagal Nityananda, he got in trouble, and they were running away from this Jagai and Madai, who were completely drunk. And Haridas Thakur at that time was 70-year-old. He was very old person, and he said from the very beginning, if you had to run, you will run, you're strong, and you're young, how will I run? So he's running behind Nityananda, and he's short of breath, and he's saying, "You're crazy, I will never go with you again." And the next day, of course, Lord Nityananda is doing this. Why he is doing this? Because he wants to glorify his Lord. He said, if these rascals, if these total atheists, sinful people, Jagai and Madhai, would become the followers of my Lord, if they will start Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, then only everyone will understand who is my Lord Nimai Pandit, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Gauranga. Because at that time, not many people in Navadvip appreciated Lord Gauranga. There were people who were appreciating him, and there were people who were completely neglectful of him. So he wanted to glorify him, and that's his main mission in life, to glorify my Lord. So that's why he preached to Jagai and Madai. But what I wanted to say, I wanted to tell different pastime in this regard. He was always with Lord Chaitanya. And when Lord Chaitanya took sannyas in 24 in Katwa and went to Jagannath Puri, Lord Nityananda went with him, and he was following him. There were only 5 associates of Lord Chaitanya, and they came to Puri and they settled in Puri. And when Lord Chaitanya went away to his South Indian tour, Lord Nityananda remained in Puri Initially, he wanted to go with Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya didn't want to have anyone with him. So he told him, you stay here. And for the whole 18 months, when Lord Chaitanya was traveling through South India, Lord Nityananda, he was going everywhere in Puri, in every house. He was only glorifying Lord Gauranga. He was saying, he is the Lord himself. Chant the name of Lord Gauranga. Chant the name of Lord Gauranga. Chant the name of Lord Gauranga. He was free to say this because Lord Chaitanya was not there. When Lord Chaitanya was there, he would not allow him to glorify him so openly. But he took advantage of Lord Chaitanya being away, and he was saying to everyone in Puri, don't make the same mistake as this Navadvipa Vasis did. They didn't respect my Lord, and therefore my Lord left Navadvip. Therefore he came to Puri, but he was preparing the ground of Lord Chaitanya to come back to Jagannath Puri so that everyone would appreciate Lord Chaitanya when he comes back. And when Lord Chaitanya came back, because he went to South India very quickly after coming to Puri, he only converted Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, nobody knew about him. But by the time he returned back, the whole Puri was anticipating the Lord himself, Jagannath himself, after traveling in South India, he's coming back. And every inhabitant, every person who was living at that time in Puri was completely in love of Lord Chaitanya because of the preaching of Lord Nityananda. He was spreading the love of Lord Chaitanya everywhere. And when Lord Chaitanya finally came, Lord Nityananda was so happy, and there was Ratha Yatra, and they were for some time, for a few days there. And then Lord Chaitanya came to Lord Nityananda, and he said, what are you doing here? Why are you wasting your time here? You go away from Puri and don't come back here. Lord Nityananda was so attached to him, he didn't want to leave him for a moment. Lord Chaitanya gave him this very strong order. You go to Bengal and you preach the holy name and the glory of the holy name and Krishna Prem, the glory of the love of God in Bengal. And Lord Nityananda, he said, okay, you're my master. And Lord Chaitanya said, don't worry, whenever you preach the glory of the holy name, I will be with you. And this order stands. Actually, whenever we preach the glory of the holy name, Lord Chaitanya is with us. We should not doubt about it. He gave this mission to Lord Nityananda, and he said to Lord Nityananda, when you preach, I will be with you. Whenever you will have kirtan, I will be dancing in this kirtan. Whenever you start dancing in this kirtan of the holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. I will dance with you. So Lord Nityananda, he took all his associates, 12 Gopalas, and they went to Bengal, and of course it was a very long journey because they were completely drunken. They were totally drunk. They didn't know which way to go. Sometimes they would go to the east, sometimes they would go to the west, sometimes they would go to the north. They totally lost their ways. They somehow or other, after 3 or 4 months or more, they came to Bengal, and they crossed Ganga in Panihati. And in Panihati, Lord Nityananda started his preaching. In Panihati, he stayed for 3 months, and he started kirtan. You remember, his father died because he didn't eat for 3 months when Lord Nityananda left Kachakragram. But in memory of his father, Lord Nityananda started kirtan in Panihati which lasts for 3 months. This kirtan didn't stop for 1 second. For 3 months, people were chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram. They didn't chant like this. They chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So he's Balaram himself. He invested so much power in this holy name that the more people would chant, the more energy they would feel. And very soon people started dancing, and they were dancing non-stop. Day and night they were dancing and dancing and dancing. Little children, old people, they were all dancing. Ultimately, the little children became so enthusiastic, they would come to a tree, to a palm tree, and they would just plug this palm tree out of the, like as if they were big pehlevan, or how you call them, pehlevan. So they were dancing on the roofs, they were dancing on the trees, they were dancing with those palm trees, little children. So much power was in this kirtan. This is how Lord Nityanand was preaching the holy name. So much power they would get, so much enthusiasm they would get from this chanting of the holy name. And that's exactly what we're supposed to get from Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda gives us the power in our holy name. If we are connected with this parampara which is coming from him, he is Akhanda Guru Tattva, we will immediately get the mercy of the holy name, and we will get the bliss. First peace and then bliss. And then prema. So this is how it is. This is how it was. And in Panihati, Lord Nityananda, he started his preaching. And from Panihati, he went to Saptagram. And in Saptagram, he started preaching. In Saptagram, it is said that he converted 2,500 Buddhist monks and nuns into Lord Chaitanya movement. Can you imagine this kirtan? 2,500 Buddhist monks chanting together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. You might try to go to Dharamsala, the Dalai Lama is there, and you might try to preach the glory of the holy name to Buddhists. Anyway, so 2,500 monks became the followers of Lord Chaitanya, and then he started preaching to Suvarnavanik caste. Suvarnavanik caste, Saptagram at that time was the richest city in the whole of India. It was the harbor, and all the ships would come to Saptagram, and that was the initial point when all the people from India, they would sell the spices and jewels and everything else to others. Anyway, it was very rich city, and in this very rich city there was one very rich caste, Suvarnavanik. They were selling gold, and they were the gold merchants. And they all Suvarnavaniks became the followers of Lord Nityananda, and they gave to Lord Nityananda so much wealth, he didn't know what to do with this wealth. He had big gold chain here, gold bracelets everywhere, the big, nice rings in every of his fingers, and he became so rich, and he started preaching the glory of Lord Chaitanya all over Bengal, and he would say, if you want to become rich, follow Lord Chaitanya. Look at me. So he was using this as a preaching technique. He said, you'll become happy and you'll become rich. And he was spreading all this happiness and bliss, eternal bliss, all over Bengal. And still to this day, in every village in Bengal, people, they are getting up by chanting the names of Lord Nityananda. Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. And then they're going back, sleep to their beds, and they again say Nityananda, 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 Nityananda. So much bliss was there when he was preaching. The whole Bengal became the field for Lord Chaitanya, and everyone was crying for Lord Chaitanya. And the whole Navadvip, of course, all the people in Navadvip who didn't appreciate Lord Chaitanya so much, they realized what they got through the mercy of Lord Nityananda. Only by the mercy of Lord Nityananda they realized who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was. And actually, as we know, Srila Prabhupada, he's from Suvarnavanik caste. He is from this, Udarnadhata was the leader of all these Sudarnavaniks, and he became a very staunch follower of Lord Nityananda, Udarnadhata. And Udarnadhata is the ancestor of Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada came from this line, from this Saptagram, from this first preaching of Lord Nityananda. And he took from this first preaching of Lord Nityananda this spirit and this bliss of the holy name. And he went to Tomkis Grand Park and he started preaching there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, and then when few years later, Lord Chaitanya came to Bengal, he had a completely different reception. He was received, everyone was in complete ecstasy by receiving him, and everyone understood he is God himself. So the point which I am trying to make here is that only through the mercy of Lord Nityananda we can understand who Lord Chaitanya is. This is what he manifested. In Bengal, everyone was familiar with Lord Chaitanya, nobody took him seriously. Very few people, Shivas Pandit, Advaita Acharya, very few. When Lord Nityananda came and when he manifested the glory of the holy name, everyone understood who Lord Chaitanya is. And because of the mercy of Lord Nityananda, we can understand who is Lord Chaitanya. Because of the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we can understand who is Radha and Krishna. And we can experience the love of Radha and Krishna. Lord Chaitanya came to distribute this love, but he couldn't distribute it himself. He needed the help of Lord Nityananda. And today we're celebrating him and, of course, his representative as Shakti Avesh avatar of Lord Nityananda, Nityananda Avesh, Srila Prabhupada. Through him, we can understand the glory of Lord Nityananda. And through Lord Nityananda, we can understand the glory of Lord Chaitanya. Through Lord Chaitanya, we can understand who is Radha Beni Madhav, who was there in our altar, Radha Govinda. Only through this we can pass this way. So Prabodhananda Saraswati, he says, Yatha yatha gora padara vinde vindeta bhaktir hrita punya rashim tatha tata sarpati hridya kasmat Radha Padamboja Sudhamburashi. And Prabodhananda Saraswati opens to us this secret. He says, Yathayatha Gaura Padara Vinde Vindeta Bhaktim Hrita Punya Rashim. If somebody, after accumulating a lot of punya in previous lives, starts worshipping Lord Gauranga, Yathayatha Gaura Padara Vinde, starts considering himself as the servant of Lord Gauranga and worshipping the lotus feet of Lord Gauranga in Dasyaras, Tathatata Sarpati Hridya Akasmat, then all of a sudden, Akasmat, in his heart, the ocean of Radha Padamboja Sudha, the nectar of the lotus feet of Srimati Radharani, in other words, the feelings of love, the sentiments of love, the bhavs of Srimati Radharani will appear within his heart. This is the way. Lord Chaitanya is coming to show us the way, and Lord Nityananda is coming, he is coming before Lord Chaitanya to give us the idea that we can only understand Lord Chaitanya's Lord Nityananda. And of course, Srila Prabhupada is coming after Lord Nityananda to explain to us how we can understand the secrets which are brought by Lord Nityananda, Lord Chaitanya himself. So therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, after expressing who Lord Nityananda is, at the end he tells the story from his own life. And he says, because of the mercy of Lord Nityananda, I came to Vrindavan. Because of the mercy of Lord Nityananda, I got the association of Raghunath Das Goswami, and I could appreciate Raghunath Das Goswami. I could hear how Raghunath Das Goswami is describing Lord Chaitanya. Because of the mercy of Lord Nityananda, I could understand Rupa and Sanatana. Sanatana Goswami opened to me the ocean of Siddhanta, the philosophy of Lord Chaitanya, and I could understand how this philosophy is the correct philosophy. And because of the mercy of Lord Nityananda, I could understand the teachings of Rupa Goswami, and I could understand the rasa, the loving relationship which are there in Vrindavan and which are binding all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. And it's all because of the mercy of Lord Nityananda. I came here and everything was open to me because of Lord Nityananda's mercy. Without his mercy, I would not be able to understand anything. And this remains true for us. He said, only by the mercy of Lord Nityananda I'm writing this book, Chaitanya Charitamrita, because I'm writing this book, Chaitanya Charitamrita, after hearing about the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya from the mouth of Raghunath Das Goswami. For 4 or 5 hours every day, Raghunath Das Goswami in Radhakund was describing the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. And that's why Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami wrote Chaitanya Charitamrita. But how did I get here? By the mercy of Lord Nityananda. He sent to me. He said, be blessed. This is your blessing. And this is the opportunity which we have. Actually, the day of the appearance of a powerful personality is not different from him. This is the day when his energy is available. The energy of Lord Nityananda is available to us today, on this day. And if we sincerely pray of Lord Nityananda for his mercy, he will definitely give us his mercy. He wants to give us this mercy. He came to this world to give us this mercy, and he is waiting when we will ask this mercy, and he will become ecstatic and starts dancing and will say, take it, take it, take it, take it. And then everything else will be open to us in the spiritual life. So that's a very special day which we are celebrating today. And of course, there will be a very special feast which we will eat with a lot of gratitude towards Lord Nityananda and his mercy. Thank you very much. Nityananda Trayodashi ki jai, Shri Nityananda Ram ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Om, Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Om. Okay.
Jai. Maharaj ki jai. That's a beautiful. Would you like to take a couple of questions?
If there is.
Thank you, Maharaj, for this translating. Maharaj, one clarification I needed that you started, you said about Swam Prakash and Prabhu Prakash and Bhagavad Prakash. So Bhagavad Prakash is about different, little different mood, and Prabhu Prakash same mood is there. So Swam Prakash is Krishna itself in ordinary form. So this is with Bhagavatam Group, because complexity is different. And mood is also a little different. Blackest person, you told everything is being absorbed, but in Gauranga form is giving everything out.
Yeah.
So, can you say what in which manifestation is Krishna himself also?
He's Krishna himself who adopted the mood of Srimati Radharani. So his mood is different. All the signs of manifestations is only applicable to amshas, to the manifestations of the Lord, to his expansions. But he is Swayam Rup, Krishna, adopting the mood or stealing the mood of Srimati Radharani, sometimes they say. So it's not his mood, it's stolen mood. Therefore, he is Swayam Rup himself, with some stolen properties, which he is manifesting externally. So he achieved perfection of the stealing pastimes of Lord Krishna. When Lord Krishna was stealing, he was stealing little butter, little yogurt. Sometimes he would steal life force of some demons, but he couldn't steal the most valuable thing, the mood of Srimati Radharani. But the perfection in stealing pastimes he achieved as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you can say he's the best makanchor. Yes.
You see that great souls cheat for a great cause. Like in the case here, the sannyasi told like that yes, we take him and then come back. And then also we see in case of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityanand, he directed Lord Chaitanya towards the Ganga instead of taking him towards Yamuna.
Mm-hmm.
But it is very difficult for a normal person to understand. His understanding is that the great soul is, if the great soul is there, then the great soul must also follow whatever he has spoken or like that. And even in case of like devotees like us, we see sometimes that when there is apparent cheating by great souls, we have a tendency to get bewildered. So how do we understand?
First of all, there is a rule, and there is a very strong dictum of the Shastras that we should follow Lord Ram, because Lord Ram, he didn't speak much. He was mostly showing the example how we should behave. So it is said that we should follow Lord Ram, but we shouldn't follow Krishna. We should follow the devotees of Krishna. So it's the rule. We should follow Lord Ram and we should follow the devotees of Krishna. And of course, when Lord Chaitanya comes as a devotee of Krishna, he behaves himself in a very pakka way. He behaves himself very properly and very strictly. Because again, he said before taking avatar, as Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami explains, that I'm coming here to show by my own example how to practice bhakti. So he behaves very strictly. And Lord Nityananda, he's little drunk, so no problem. He's drunk with the love of God. Therefore, what we have to understand while following, sometimes it may be bewildering to us how even devotees of Krishna behave. But what we may question their behavior, which may sometimes look a little unconventional. But we should not question the integrity of their purpose. That's what it is. If we don't question the integrity of their purpose, that the purpose, the intention, the integrity of their intent, if we understand that their intention is good, then we can approach them humbly and ask, can you please explain to us why did you behave in such a way? If we're a little bewildered. But again, the general rule is that devotees usually they try to behave very properly, and Krishna is a great personality, and great personalities they don't have to follow the rules. He's Lila Purushottama. He's not Maryada Purushottama. He's coming as Lord Ram Maryada Purushottama to show us the example. Lila Purushottam, when you enter his Lila, you can also follow his Lila. Before you enter his Lila, follow Maryada. Okay?
Thank you, Maharaj, for very fast. I have a question, Maharaj, since my beginning days. We tell that Nityanand is Adi Guru, the original spiritual master. So it is understandable to speak very beautifully that how he is the source of all spiritual strength. He explained last time about Manihati, Sampagram, how he is returning to Bengal. So, but ideally we see that Guru is one who generally trains by his own example, who gives knowledge, who gives philosophy. But quite often we don't see in the pastime of Nityanand, who is generally a Buddha, who cannot be followed, who cannot be imitated.
Guru has two functions. And it is very clearly explained in this verse, Tasmat Gurum Prapadyanta, Jigyasum Shreya Uttama, Brahma Parecha Nishnato. So there are two main qualities of a guru. The first quality of a guru is Shabda Brahmani Nishnata. He has to be expert in Shabda Brahman. He has to be able to explain Shastra and to give to his disciples the understanding of the Shastra, of the logic of the Shastra. So he has to be expert in this Shabda Brahman. And then the second qualification of a guru is Parabrahmani Nishnata. Parabrahmani Nishnata means the direct experience of Parabrahman. Not only Shabda Brahman, not only manifestation of the Lord in the sound form, in the form of the scriptures, but also the direct manifestation of the Lord as Lord Krishna. And the first qualification of a guru is so necessary because sometimes we have some logical doubts or scriptural doubts. We may not understand how logically it is because we don't have the complete picture. We don't know Shastras in entirety. We take something here, something there, and we see some contradictions. So the Acharya or Guru has to explain how these contradictions are non-contradictory. But the second quality of Acharya is even more important, because sometimes, despite of having very clear logical structure and understanding logical philosophy, logically understanding the philosophy, we still don't have enthusiasm. We still have little, moods which are little down, and we become desperate, and we think, yeah, it sounds beautiful in theory, but in practice I don't feel it. So the practical experience and realization which Guru has to have is to take us out from this shock and moh, all these emotional states which are inevitable for conditioned souls. And the Guru is doing this by sharing his own experience of bliss. When we see in the personality of Guru this bliss, then it's very easy for us to come out from these conditions. So Lord Nityananda, he is not stressing so much the logic, especially because he is the popular Guru in the sense that he is preaching to everyone, and not everyone is able to understand Shastra. His special mission was to preach to everyone just by sharing his experience, the bliss which is there in his heart. And that's even more powerful preaching, because ultimately the Shastra is only necessary to us, knowledge of the Shastra is only necessary to us to stick to the sadhana and ultimately to get the personal realization of all these truths in our life. So that's, he's Prema Guru, he's not Shastra Guru. And that explains everything.
My question was on special days that we can easily remember Lord, but throughout the year, otherwise we feel that whatever we are doing, it is well, hard work, whatever instructions of whatever we are doing. So, but how throughout the year, how do we constantly remember Lord?
Yes.
So ultimately expand.
You cannot remember yourself, you have to be reminded. And that's why Srila Prabhupada had morning classes. Every class you will be reminded, don't worry about this. Of course, this conception of aham and mameti, mama, ahanta and mamata, this ahankara is very deeply rooted within our heart. We always feel I'm the doer, everything depends on me. Krishna is always trying to destroy this conception of yours by sending to you so many difficulties and so many problems. But still you think, I am the doer, I am the doer, I am the doer. But by the mercy of Guru, you will be able to remember that I am not the doer. For that you need a guru, and a relationship of a guru or a relationship with the guru is that you hear him and he reminds you all these truths and reminds it in a very powerful way, so that your conception, very strong conception, is somewhat shaken. For the time you hear him, you still remember. So for us, on our own, again, when we think, I can remember on my own, it's same conception, I can do it. No, you cannot remember on your own. But you can remember about this if you remember, if you listen or hear your guru. Then you will remember all the time. That's the only way. Okay, thank you very much. Shri Nityananda Pavarama ki jai. Shri Gaur Nitai ki jai. Gaur Premanande.
His Bhakti Vijnana Goswami Mahraj ki
Jai. Ya pakai sendiri.
हरे कृष्णा। अभी 11 बजे से फिर से गौर निताय का अभिषेक होगा। आप सभी सनम उपस्थित होंगे। फिर से गौर निताय की जय। महामहोत्सव की जय।